Welcome to Feel Good, day 28. We're going to free the pelvis. We're adding in some hip mobilization. Let's learn anatomy very briefly. Psoas muscles. Okay, we have two of them. They start on the lower back, they come across the front of the hips, and they attach to your thigh bones, the femurs, the top of the thigh bones. Okay, so they also are attached to the diaphragm. This is going to be very important, right, by connective tissue. So they are major players in terms of physiology because they cross three major joints. Read the science in the post below. Now, they are, for most of us, we don't take them through their full range of motion, okay? We sit for prolonged periods, okay? So that's our psoas muscles contracted. We train, all right, and don't stretch properly. And if you think about it, okay, psoas muscle, they're your primary hip flexor. So all movement is initiated by the psoas muscles. So cycling, running, squats in the gym, okay, that's your psoas muscles. So if we do not take the psoas muscle through their full range of motion, and most of us don't, okay, then they're going to be very tense and they're going to shorten over time. Stress response. Now, they are involved in the stress response. It makes sense evolutionarily. Think about it. When you are stressed, okay, you're primed for fight or flight. Movement, okay? So your psoas muscle automatically contracts because the stress response is a physiological mechanism. The psoas muscle automatically contracts and primes you for that movement. If you live in perpetual stress, what have we got? Tense psoas muscles, which over time will shorten. Now, let's look at that in terms of anatomy. So, if our psoas muscles are short, I'm exaggerating this, okay, are shortened, we get anterior pelvic tilt, okay, which means I get excessive lordotic curve here in my lumbar spine. Vertebrae pressed together. Nerve pain, okay, because they're going to impinge on the nerves. So, not to mention, it's going to throw out all the natural curves in the spine, okay, so postural misalignment, all sorts of issues for us. We don't want to have excessive lordotic curve here, okay? We want to keep the spine in its natural curves because that's when it's at its strongest. So what do we need to do? We need to systematically stretch the psoas muscles. To do that, all right, the first thing really is to get some movement going in your hips. If you have chronic health issues, start with breathing because the psoas muscle is connected to the diaphragm. So if you actually engage the diaphragm when you breathe, think deep, slow, regular, that in itself will help move you into parasympathetic nervous system activation. That's relaxation mode. So you're coming out of stress and moving into your more natural, relaxed state. So that will help. But mobility, we want to think about actually loosening up these hips, okay, and the pelvis. Cultural conditioning means for most of us, we're not really very comfortable allowing the pelvis just to swing freely. So, we can do big hip swings, big hip circles, okay, take your stance a little wider because it's easier to balance. I always actually put my hands on my hip bones because you can then feel what's going on and you want to feel your way with this, okay, both directions always. So we've got our hip swings, we've got our hip circles, pelvic tilt. Let me show you that on the side, okay? So what we're going to do is actively, we're going to tilt the pelvis into posterior tilt by contracting glutes. The glutes and the psoas muscles, they're paired muscle groups. So if we contract the glutes, okay, you're going to need to actually feel them, okay? Then what you get is a stretch here through the psoas muscles. When we work the other way, okay, the glutes are relaxed and my psoas muscles are contracted, okay? Abdominals and lower back muscles are also involved, but that's another post, as are getting to know our glutes. For most of us, we're going to have weak glutes, right, because we don't engage them sufficiently. So a pelvic tilt will allow you to begin to feel glute activation and psoas stretch, okay? Now, if you're able to, you also want to work with lunge. You can do a high lunge, okay, not like that. You can do a high lunge. So you want your knees stacked over the ankle, back leg straight and strong. If you come up on your toes if you can hold on to something, okay? Okay, you're going to feel. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to contract this glute, okay? And as I do that, I'm going to feel the stretch here in my psoas muscle. Even better, if you then drop that knee down, we've now stabilised the pelvis, all right, which is going to give me even more stretch through the psoas muscle. Still contract that glute, and you can push the pelvis forward now, okay, because you're stable, and increase the stretch through the psoas muscle. Obviously you want to do that on the other side. So there are lots of things we can do to start working with the psoas muscle daily. Remember, you sit daily. For many of us, we exercise daily, and you certainly experience stress on a regular daily basis. So you want to stretch the psoas muscle daily. Thank you for sharing this space with me, and I'll see you tomorrow.